had Kingin, and they had Grizzly, and they had Zeka. When I say strongest, I mean physically, right? That was the strongest HLE we've seen, because those three were just like the titans of the top side. I don't think that Peanut can lift as much as Grizzly.
No,
in fact, I know he can't.
Yeah.
But Peanut does play some good League of Legends, so he has that going.
Hey, Palu's pretty tall. You know, they got that going. He's probably the tallest guy down there.
And until Mao goes down there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's no beating Mao. Rumble. We do have the same bands here. Just the Jace came second this time.
I wonder what, like, you know, this is like such a weird tangent, but I wonder what the thought process is behind changing the order of the Jace and the Xin Zhao. Maybe they just say just ban Jace and Zhao, and they just, yeah.
You're like, oh, maybe they're not going to ban the Jace. Maybe we should change it. And then you realize that red side is always going to first ban Vi, and so it doesn't change anything.
Are they going to ban the Poppy?
No.
Or something else?
Yes.
Yes, they are. So the only difference, Yone left open, and Wukong banned. So, do I think they're going to first pick the Yone? No?
No.
That does mean that HLE get access to the Yone. Zeka's, I don't know if you know this, Brendan, this is some niche lore.
Okay.
Zeka, I've heard, it's been rumored, it's been suggested, he's pretty good at Yone.
I don't know what would make you think that, but sure. I'll believe you.
Oh, it's Nidalee Yone. It's Nidalee Yone. Okay, it's Nidalee Yone. They're going to lock in Nidalee Yone, and then they have the Nidalee as a flex as well. And it's...
oh, instead they're just going to pick Sejuani.
Oh, Sejuani Yone. Yes, yes. I've heard of that combination.
And Jax for Zeus eventually.
Yeah, Zeka's talking. Oh, Sejuani Nidalee? I don't think that's as good.
Blind pick Nidalee top. I mean, at this point, you know what Morgan's... You know what his champion pool is. It's Yorick and Sion.
Renekton? Don't play Renekton to Nidalee.
They all lose to Nidalee.
Do not play Renekton into Nidalee.
They all lose to Nidalee.
Not play Renekton into Nidalee.
Like maybe Yorick's okay, but I don't know what he's gonna do.
What have you got? What have you got?
He's really being challenged here.
Maybe like a Jax loses a little bit more gracefully than other picks.
Yeah, we have seen that picked into it before.
Yeah. Well, are you going to be scared for closer? I think Zeka just fully commits to the Yone, if I'm being honest, but we'll see. And now, are you going to pick your top laner here? Do you have something secret stored up? Morgan's been practicing some zany pick like Ivan top lane that he's going to bring. No, that sounds terrible. Don't do that.
Janna.
Okay, well, they're saving the top lane pick. They're going for Misfortune. They're going to secure that one. Yeah, sure, buddy.
I mean...
yeah, we all know what it's going to be.
It's going to be Yone.
Yeah, Yone, Sejuani. You know, if I was in Bro's position, it's not even about win probability. I would just feel drained playing into this on the other side. I'm like, oh.
I mean, it's hard to say that Zeus' best champs is Nidalee, but based on his expertise we've seen in just, what is it, 2 games, he's really good at it. And then you look at Peanut Sejuani and Zeka's Yone, and you're not feeling good.
It's one of his most annoying champions. That is something we can say as an absolute fact, right?
We do know that.
And it also just means like the skirmishing power of the Yone Sejuani really hard to deal with. You know, typically Neferi and Ari, good skirmishers, get the reset potential in the ult, but they are going to have a rough time. Now, Rel banned away. Alistair, I think they have to ban Alistair, bro, dude, here. You do not want to give that one over to the light. Especially since a lot of the other engaged supports are banned. Rel denied, so we don't have the Rel MF pairing. Alistair ban does come through.
Yep. I just want to see what Morgan's playing, honestly.
Yeah, if you really want to secure for Delight and engage support, you could take like Leona here or like Nautilus, but I think you could be forgiven for just taking 80 carry and leaving support to last. You don't get Bromed or something. Could go for like the Ezreal. Looking at the Lucian, actually.
I mean, yeah, Ezreal seems a bit more standard.
I think the Ezreal makes more sense. You can go Ezreal Leona, you can go Ezreal Braum. It really depends what bro pick to pair with the MF. Put themselves in a decent position. And I think if you pick Leona or Nautilus, you're going to get Braumed. So if you pick Braum, they have options into that too.
Yeah.
There's no real good choice, I think, in this situation for Palu.
Although if you pick Brawl, maybe Delight doesn't play an engage support.
Yeah, I mean, that can be a decent option.
And as we know, that is his favorite.
Does he just pick Bard?
Maybe he plays Karma?
Could do.
But both of those, I'm like, Delight isn't... Yeah, Yorick.
Yeah, it's the Yorick.
Yeah.
I was hoping for like the secret pick. It did not come out. This is not a secret. This is the Yorick. We've seen it before. And now Delight. So they've given you the Braum. Typically, you wouldn't want to pick Leona or Nautilus into this. You could pick a range support. I think Bard, Karma, both options. Looking towards that Karma. But we have Engage from the Yone and the Sejuani. Oh, Janna would
Janna.
be... Oh. Oh. Man.
We wanted it. We wanted it.
It's been so long.
I feel like the Bard could have been good too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Bard into MF.
Yeah, they're so much better than everyone else.
Right now. We've seen things change.
Now,
We've seen things change. You can't... It's looking very good. That is what I said. But not locked in. Got to keep showing what they can do.
Well, we're going to see Zeus showing off his Nidalee once again here in game number 2.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
You know, maybe lane swaps weren't so bad. This is what we've unleashed by removing lane swaps. Nidalee top. I'm not sad. You know what? We nearly got a Janna. I know we didn't, but we nearly got it, and that was at least cool. There was a moment where I felt hope.
Yeah, I mean, we had Zed hovered too.
Yeah, but that didn't feel as convincing. That felt like just a, haha, look at this. The Janna was like, yeah, I could go. No, he won't.
Yeah, I mean, why play Janna when Karma exists?
Yeah, I mean, Janna would have been a less pressure in lane. You still would have had a lane advantage, would have had less pressure. But the thing is, the engage from Bro is kind of limited. And trying to engage into a Janna team when you have a Braum feels really bad. But I guess they just want that lane pressure. Hello! Is spotted.
And he gives the top of the morning.
He knows. They know. We all know.
We're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Vertical jungling. And I don't think that Zeus is going to care about that too much.
But it's big for HLE's bot side. Being able to play very aggressively and knowing they have the support from their jungler. Vision as well on Croco here. And the thing is, you may think, hey, are you really going to leave your top lane Nidalee isolated? I don't even think it's possible for Zeus to die to Croco or more. I'm trying to thinking it over.
He would have to be like under the turret.
Well, Viper's Ezreal 0-2. That's kind of crazy, considering HLE's win rate overall.
Really... How did he manage that? That's like hard to do.
Yeah.
We know his Ezreal is very good. It's not like it's a weak pick for him. So, pretty interesting. Zeka definitely getting chunked here against the Ahri.
Also getting chunked here. I mean, it is a long lane, and Zeus is very pushed up. That is the only angle you can really gank. The Ghoulie wall does nothing to Nidalee.
Yeah. When I first saw the Nidalee, I'm like, he's just going to play Yorick, isn't he? And it's not even because of the matchup. It's just because it's Morgan. Like, he doesn't have a good answer in his champion pool into this Nidalee. And that's why when you got Morgan against a guy like Zeus, you can really kind of do whatever you want if you are Zeus. You can just blind pick the Nidalee because you know there's no hope of, you know,
honestly,
actually countering.
I think the best solution into HLE right now is be confident in your jungler's Nidalee and just pick it yourselves before Zeus gets an opportunity to. And then deny it because of Fearless.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
But like if you're not confident that you have an answer in the top lane to the Nidalee, then you need to deny it and give it to your jungler. And like it's a strong pick. We've seen it have success in the jungle as well. So I think the theory is there.
Morgan.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. He's going to be run down. There's first blood just straight up. And he was trying to push in the wave. Unfortunately, he should have known that he was in kill pressure.
Yeah, the execute for the Nidalee on her Cougar form Q, very threatening. And the thing is, look, this is not a fun lane for Yorick. This is not a lane you're going to win. You are going to get pressured throughout. but you should not be getting solo killed at level 4. I'm just going to be blunt.
Yeah. Not something that should happen. Meanwhile, we do have a very sneaky, okay, Flash coming in. Zeka actually goes down. And Closer, down his Flash. He's got a blast plant, though. And he's going to actually
He's out.
be out
He's
of this
actually
one.
out.
The disengage cone saves another one.
So well played there by Closer. And Zeka struggling in this lane matchup. You know, typically, Yone is one of those champions where you get low in lane, but you're never in kill threat because you have second wind, because you have Doran's shield, but he ends up going down. And yes, he puts the ghoulie wall down, and he just jumps over it. And then he just hits a spear, and then the Q just does that. Not really much to explain there.
Pretty obviously, he thought he had the pressure to kill him.
I thought Closer could be in trouble here, but gets the return on the Q.
And he played so well when he autoed this blast plant here. Wow.
Outplayed.
Great, awesome play. Really love that. Now, Peanut's top lane, Palu does have his flash. There it is. So they're going to collect that. Passing go, collect flash.
And in fairness, in terms of CS advantage, Viper not that far ahead of Hype, so Hype doing a decent job picking up the farm, even though it is a little bit of a rough lane. You know, things aren't all doom and gloom for Bro so far. Top lane is, but it's not just top lane.
Yeah. The Italy in this case does not have smite.
Yeah, and also doesn't quite do enough execute damage to out-damage the smite.
Closer, still pressuring. Zeka never really going to have a fun time in this lane, but he also died, so yeah, this is not going well for Zeka. Closer certainly exerting that pressure after that first kill. Already has lost chapter.
Doing a good job and forcing Zeka back again.
Now Viper taking a bit of damage. Double ups doing a number to them. Viper's like, please give me the last minion. It's not going to happen.
Just some overall good laning from Bro's mid and bot.
2 plates already. Kind of crazy.
800 gold. Massive advantage to have this early. And you got to remember, there will almost always be an overall gold lead for HLE because of the Nidalee. We've seen this before where Nidalee has like a massive lead. But when you take away the lead of the Nidalee...
Oh, very nice. Charm landing right on the mark. Zeka goes in, and there's a Braum here as well. He's going to ult into the Braum and just go back.
Yeah, not... I would have just pressed E, but...
Interesting.
Maybe Yone's been banned so much against Zeka, he's just not practiced. Because he's struggling right now. There's no other way to spin it. He is not having a good time right now on this pick. And Closer is really putting it to him hard.
Closer's just playing really well. We highlighted this at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
I did not cast a curse him. He's going to get away. I was very worried there for a second, but he is playing Ahri.
And does look to be going on Malignus build. Doesn't have it yet, but when he gets to that point, obviously not too much punish coming through when you do ban your ult for whatever reason.
All right, little play down here, the ghoulie wall. Gonna delay him just a little bit. Zeus continuing to chunk him out. Nice chunk of damage in, but he's just gonna try to heal this one up. Now our bot lanes have gone mid. With the grubs spawning now. Viper heading forward. Palu's taking a beating in this one, as we did expect. The root comes down, and Palu, one auto will get him, and that is it. Viper and Delight put 2 and 2 together. Now Hype, though, looking for the kill. Flash forward. There it is. Collects it. That's going to feel pretty good for Hype. Hype level 6.
Well,
and he's going to ult into Delight. That was never really going to kill him. Not sure about that one. Delight's still holding on a flash as well. Fight here over the grubs, but HANWHA know that they just lost that mid fight, so just going to back away from that. Uh-oh. Delight going in. Hype in a lot of trouble. He will be rooted down, and with flash and heal, they should have enough damage, and there you go.
Hina takes it, though. I think they definitely wanted to give it over to Zeka, who needs an injection of gold. But yeah, good setup there from Delight. Just burn both sums to find that kill. Looking bot there. Peanut?
Just kind of running into them. It is Yorick and Braum, so...
Imagine if the ghouls could proc Braum passive. How broken that would be. playing Yorick bot lane if that worked.
I think Yorick needs a buff. Let's give him that. Or is it a Braum buff?
A little bit of both. More so Yorick, I feel. If his ghouls applied on hits.
Yeah.
Just landing the damage, but Viper here does cleanse out the stun, misses the Q. Not sure if it really makes a difference though. And you see Hype actually resetting his passive on the minions so he can get the damage in, and then Hype, unfortunately, nothing left to say alive here. Delight having the heal, it looks like it was close, but it was never really.
No, just calculated by Delight. And especially with the ult down, he knew he was not in any danger.
Yeah. And obviously if he had the ult, then maybe he could have turned it, but if he had the ult, then Delight would have been higher health.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to.
Maiden! A charm here, but Q3 up. Zeka just flying away. That's the second back now that's been denied.
Can we make it 3? No, I don't think anyone's in range. Unless Delight, Mantra Q? No.
So close.
Like how the camera instantly went to it so we could see.
Well, plates are still up here. We're only 10 minutes in, and with Demolish, Zeus getting to work on this top turret. HANWHA Life Esports once again showcasing a lot of rotations in this game. Zeka, he wants revenge. He's very fast.
Missed both Qs.
But he made his mind shown. Whatever that means.
Yeah, yeah.
He let him know how he was feeling about it.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Looking to have a potential fight here. Zeus has no TP. Neither does Morgan. Yeah, in a 4v4, I think Bro feel pretty good about this.
Yeah, especially with the aggro from the Drake. Going on a Pita, he's already taken a bunch of damage. And Bro just going to go into the pit. Croco and Closers. It's going to come down to a fight. Peanut going to totally whiff on that one, and now I think they just got to try to look for the Smite Steal or go away, as it is going to go the way of Nefarian. Peanut just gets charms. Heal comes through. Closer and Croco going in. They do collect the one, but they're in a really bad spot. As down will go Closer. That's a shutdown over to Viper, and Croco as well will be put into the pockets of Viper.
I actually think the setup for that play from Bro was excellent. They just made the wrong call. Just leave. Just leave. You got the dragon, just leave. You're playing an Ahri and you're playing in a Fairy. You can just hop over the wall. Like, Morgan's getting damage on this top lane tower in return. This could have actually been a flawless play from Bro, and they would have had a significant advantage, but instead they just give 2 kills to Viper. Now he has a massive lead. Honestly, this is why I feel frustrated by stuff like this, because, like, you're looking at the dragon being contested, right? Whatever that was. And at this moment here, if you give it a second, they could have just gotten out. They could have just gotten away, but they greeded for the Peanut kill. The heal comes in. They knew Zeus would come down, by the way. This is not new information. They greeded for the kill, and they end up going down. And the thing is, it's a 2-for-1. It's not a significant down trade, but it's a fact that Viper got both those kills is a more pressing issue. So, a little bit disappointed in Bro's decisions there, where they easily could have looked to disengage from that situation.
Yeah.
Got a little bit bloodthirsty.
Also, there are many times where HANWHA Life Esports, we even saw this in game number 1, but not the only time. They're doing it here in game number 2, where they just decide that they're going to win the fight, regardless of the way it's going. And Peanut's going for these wild limit-testing ults that honestly never have any business hitting. Like, at best, you're forcing an Ahri ult or a W out of the Nefiri. Like, it was just kind of strange, especially because the bottom lane was there as well, and threatening from the Tri-Brush below them. And yeah, even still, it felt like Bro were in a great spot, but even still, HANWHA Life were able to win that fight. At least Morgan isn't miles behind. It's only 400 gold. Not so bad.
You got a lot of gold from those plates.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was a perfect setup. Having a bit of alone time for Doran in the top lane to make up that matchup, get that tower low. You got the dragon as well. It's got to be in a little bit better. It made a lot of difference.
You see Viper now really trying to extend that pressure as far as he possibly can.
The thing is, when you're playing Ezreal into an MF, it's a little uncomfortable because the MF with Bloodthirster can just kind of out-heal your poke, and even to some extent face tank you and heal off the wave. But Hype doesn't have a Bloodthirster yet. The acceleration from those kills means that Viper has his Triforce and he's just putting pressure down.
So Zeka dashed in when Nefiri's here. He's going to ult. It does get hit by the Nefiri. And Zeka now going to get flashed on. Down he goes. The ult comes through. And Krako goes in onto Peanut. Doesn't really have any chance of beating this one.
A lot of damage, though. That tanky Sejuani and a great angle found. Zeka just... I'm just going to say it. Bad Yone performance so far this game. It has not been impressive, considering the standard we have for this player. Pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, like you said, maybe he's just not playing a lot of Yone nowadays. Because he needs to widen his champion pool. I mean, his champion pool is pretty wide, but maybe he's like assuming, okay, I know how to play Yone. This is fine. I don't need to play it too much nowadays.
I assume that too, if I'm being honest.
I mean, based on what we've seen, Bro are going to pick up the feat strength as well.
The thing is, if Zeka's not performing so well, you know, Zeus is not a teamfight titan on this this Nidalee. So if you're weak, you're really relying on Viper heavily. It was a great charm from Closer there. Here, you could have tanked. I thought Closer was taking a tank in the ult, steps out of the way, and Krako just catch it, so he doesn't go as far as he'd hoped. I was a little scared Closer would get turned around onto, but did ult away from that Yone ultimate. Now they're setting up for this objective. Neither mid laner here, but they both have TP. Zeus isn't here yet as well. I think HLE have to let this one go.
Yeah, gonna have to give it up. See Viper trying to poke, but again, shield available for Hype now with this BT. And yes, they have a decent amount of poke, but Bro are ahead. They're ahead on gold, they're ahead on dragons. And Closer is pretty massive. He's so far ahead of Zeka at this point. Zeka really needs to... At this point, he can go in because he's Yone, but like if you have no vision and you're playing against an R, you can get punished immediately like we just saw in that last fight.
The thing is, they're ahead of gold, and they're against an AD Nidalee top.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're playing against AD Nidalee top, it's like playing against TF and GP who generate free gold with that kit. A Nidalee top should be coming, at this point in the game, you should be a couple of thousand gold ahead. That's how it should be played into the Yorick matchup. The fact is is actually behind in the matchup. Super worrying, because again, you're an AD Nidalee top, you don't scale that well. Your threat is in the side lanes. If Bro are setting the pace of the game and they're forcing these 5v5s, HLE are going to feel terrible. And now Herald goes down mid, will pick up the mid tier 1. This is a great look for Bro.
Yeah.
Dagon is probably so enthusiastic right now.
For a good reason. They just gotta solidify their... Look at him! He's so happy! We get the ult into the Braum, who's getting the speared in the side by the Nidalee, though. And in goes Yone, and that'll be Zeka finally doing something. We get to zoom in onto Dagon as it's all happening, and everything is falling apart. Everything is falling apart. It's still a 4v5, and Closer's got his ult. He's gonna do a bit of damage here to Zeka, who just ults away. Meanwhile, Zeus going in behind. He's going so deep for that. Takes out the AD carry. And Zeus says, I am the real AD carry in this game, buddy. And just taking their Yorick for a walk is the karma. Do they have the damage? Viper trying. But they certainly have the poke, they have the healing, they have the sustain, and they will look for this dragon.
Struggles of Rofan right there. Honestly, hard for me to focus on the fight when I was judging off the live Dagon reaction. TP's coming in. HLE could end up in some trouble here.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Krako ults available, trying to go in, but instead they're going to catch Closer, force the flash back. Palu as well, trying to hold the door. Morgan coming on in, and Zeka in a lot of trouble, but he gets the knockup. The slow comes in, and finally he gets bonked on the head. Something goes right, and in goes Krako. Goes untargetable. They get a double kill for Morgan, who did 6k damage in this fight. Oh, and the disengage. Oh, the triple! Morgan! Nobody can stop him with the Quadra! Morgan going insane beast mode in this game.
We didn't have faith, but the Bros did, and Morgan's Yorick stomping on HLE with the Quadra kill. Well deserved as well, doing so much work in that fight, and I guess he just dipped them. You know, this was a super long fight, very scrappy, and as much as HLE are getting these initial kills, look at the Maiden. The Maiden's just beating on Viper right now, beating on Zeus, just doing damage and kind of getting ignored. Does end up getting taken down, but Morgan's just throwing the ghouls out the whole time. They do try and find Zeka here, unfortunately aren't able to. They get the AD carry in this situation, but look at Morgan, he's just going in and out, getting those shovel hits.
Yeah, and what happens is he backs and TP's back into the play, so now he's a real threat when everybody's super low.
Yep. Ends up getting to see the replay there. The damage to burst on that Q, by the way, is so high.
He just keeps saying, keep going, keep going.
Even the escape cone can't stop him. Puts the Nidalee. No, that's
disengaged move.
that's cathartic. Puts the Nidalee in the cage, and she does stay there.
Even the pro coaches didn't expect Morgan to do that. I mean, we know that Yorick is comfort for him. Didn't expect much going up into Zeus's Nidalee, to be honest.
We're pretty pessimistic.
And he's popping off. Quadra kill. Closer in a bit of trouble. Again, this is Yone. It doesn't matter how far behind you are. He will still be able to do some stuff at times. Good smite there from Krako. But yeah, bro, let's see how they can do it from ahead. Can they close this game out?
I mean, the problem is this 80 Nidalee doesn't really exist in fights. I mean, she does a little bit, but she just doesn't have the threat. Zek is having a struggle. It's only Viper. And the thing is, this isn't even a good Ezreal game for one major reason. You're playing into Yorick Neferi. There's like 86 million things to block your Mystic shots. Every fight. Look at the little hot dogs.
Yeah. The hot dogs go in, they go out. You can't explain that. They just don't die to Israel. They're not going to be able to do much about this. I wanted to say Rakan. Otacon in this one.
Well, it's a good pickup for HLE. Find a window to start that one, and Bro are not ready to respond. But yeah, this is the problem when all your eggs are in the Viper basket. You have the ghouls, you have the hot dogs. It's just, it's hard to get the same value from skill shot champions, and Ezreal is the skill shot AD carry.
Yeah. You know, I like hot dogs as a New Yorker, but where's the hamburger skin? As the NA representative on this desk.
I feel like there need to be a different champion that's a hamburger skin and you play them together.
Yeah. If there was like a crab champion, like can Skarner get a hamburger?
Oh, you know what they should
skin?
do? They should do that buff we're talking about, where the ghouls can proc Brawn passive, and then you could have the kebab Brawn skin.
There you go.
Pair
Okay.
Up, no?
I'm down with that. Closer. He's
Oh,
getting everything in the kitchen sink being thrown at this guy, and finally he's taken out. Not by his own fault. I mean, he just couldn't get away after dodging almost everything.
Only so much you can do. Zeus losing in the side lane pretty hard right now. Crocker trying to clear the way. Polo is here. Viper still a threat. He's on a big item spike at the moment. Man, there's minions, there's hot dogs, there's a Braum. There's just...
You know, Delay can actually take the dog for a walk because there's a dog in the game. It's crazy. He's got the leash, the tether.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm glad it actually makes sense for once. Now that Neferi's back in the meta.
Well, in the meta for the first time ever. Yeah.
In the meta.
I mean, Closer, what more can you do, really?
Not Bastion.
You know what this reminds me? There's this clip of Faker where he's like, just play safe mid, and they throw everything in the kitchen sink. It honestly reminds me of that. There's only so much you can do. Dodged a lot, dipped away from a lot, but not able to survive in the end of that one. HLE do find that kill, and finding some pressure with that mid lane tier 1 going down. Viper feeling really confident with that spike he has, but Hype has that Bloodthirster and IE. So even if you take some poke, you can kind of heal it up. But I think the big thing is that right now, Hyper does have a full level lead. It obviously says 2 levels in the number, but yeah, Hype just has hit level 12 there. So it really is Ezreal or bust. Can Viper thread the needle through the hot dogs, through the ghouls, past the Braum?
Into the MF BT shield, who just immediately gets the health back.
All right, it's not feeling so good, but he'll try. You know, if anyone can do it, it's Viper.
We'll see the angle here. The charm comes through on Azeka already. Peanut trying to get in, but not exactly. Okay, he's walking up, actually. TP comes in from Zeus, but he's just 80 Nidalee. Is he able to do anything in this one? He's doing a bit of damage, I guess, but Peanut can't get in. They just want to abandon ship, and Zeus has to flash out of this. Meanwhile, Viper thinking about it. He's getting up in their face. He's already playing against that wall very well. And he will arcane shift over, though. Here comes the ult, but immediately Mikhails is used. And that's Infernal Soul points given over to Bro. Krako goes in. This fight is still going. They want to take out Closer on the bottom side, and that is the first pick to HANWHA Life Esports. Bro, you've got the objective. Why not just run away? The flash leaves Palu in a desperate situation. Oh! And he'll have to flash as well. Viper's really trying to solo carry this game.
Trying to find Hype there. Does force both summoners. Flash traded for the flash of Hype as well. And HLE finding some angles. Ult comes through. It's not going to connect. Hype has to move away, though. Was watching. And yeah, I mean, a good play from Zeka onto Closer, but Viper really. So from the start of this fight, trying to get some damage in, dodges away from the Braum ult, And then here has a Braum in his face, who just kind of blocks everything. And then the Maiden moves in his face, and the Yorick, so he's like, okay, I'll back away. Closer ends up overstepping here, and this is great angle found, because he's just one ult too far, has no charges left.
Yep.
Zeka able to punish him here, even though the ult doesn't connect. Closer's no options to get away. And then Viper here landing so much damage on a Hype, even with the hot dogs in the way, connects onto his target, and then here goes for the combo. And Hype able to react in time.
Very close, though. You can tell that Viper, he feels the pressure. It isn't the only time that his team has kind of left him alone to just try to carry it out. We know he's capable, but there's just so many things in his way. Bro are still ahead in gold. They still have the Infernal Soul point. They have a more significant side laner by this point, even. In the 1v1, it doesn't seem like Zeus is doing much in a Morgan.
I think in some games on Ezreal, you just land your Qs, you move forwards when you need to, and that's enough. This is not one of those games. He needs to be so crisp, and finding angles to connect on the right targets is the problem at the moment. But at least Zeka, even though he's had some early failings in this game, is starting to put a lot of pressure onto Closer. Closer made some fumbles in the recent team fights, getting caught out without any ult charges left. A lot of threats though on Bro still. A lot of people with a good amount of gold in their pockets.
Yeah, most of it on the top side of the map. The Yorick winning, the Nefiri winning. I mean, it is this Sejuani, but still. 2.5 items already on Kroko, level 14, same as the solo laners. And he is very accelerated, so you get a fight where Nefiri's running around and nobody can really deal with her. It's going to be a big issue, not to mention the rest of the team. As we're just ulting in on a Morgan who is doing the red buff. I guess he's just dead here. A big shield does come through with the Sterix, but there's just no out for him. He doesn't have flash. It's just a free kill. And bro, I mean, you're in a position to win this game. People are getting caught out. Gotta cut off the mistakes, and you can actually do this.
Viper plays with so much confidence. Kroko's looking at an angle, but till Morgan's back up, don't really see any opportunity. And even if he is back up, a flanking Yorick is not the most intimidating thing. BRION is up and available, and HLE clearing some vision around in the area, but not going to look for anything yet.
Yeah, no reason to try to force a 5v5 when Zeus is in a rough spot.
We talk about this a lot, but more than ever, if there's a time you should be paying your bro tax, it's right now.
Where there's a really good chance, and you could push it just that little bit over the line.
You should always be paying your bro tax. But it is tax season right now.
Especially now.
Okay.
The Bro RS are coming to your house.
Yeah. There will be investigations following the outcome of this match.
Yeah.
You know, you can be on the side that helped get the win, or you can be the side that weren't there to back you up. Kroko's looking.
I swear Kroko does damage.
Zeus is pretty tanky, to be fair. I mean, he's just, you know, he'll do damage when the bro tax comes in.
Yeah. When that third item comes in, surely. I mean, I was saying he's in a good spot, but I don't know. Killing over to Peanut. He got a big shutdown. Catches up. A little bit of a ult here to try to save the turret. It's not going to work. You see that huge chunk of damage that comes out of them onto the turret.
We are seeing some of the problems. Now that HLE have regained a bit of a foothold, Bro do lack a lot of engage in the composition. And so it's fine when they're on the objective initially, HLE have to come into them. But right now, HLE are just kind of pushing forwards. And
yeah.
Bro don't have it. Like, Braum can't just run it in Ezreal.
Engage Braum, though.
Yeah. Now, Dragon is up and available.
For a reason.
HLE have full control of the area. Zeus is pushing inside, but it's not really relevant. Oh!
Zeka?
Oh, if Hype had ult!
Ooh!
If Hype had ult, that could have
used it on the wave.
Been a kill.
CP is, okay, he's fine. Charm, if it was timed correctly, would have just maybe killed Zeus.
Viper playing so aggressive here.
I mean, you got to zone Kroko out of the pit. Otherwise, this is just going to be a straight-up flip. And really, that comes down to Viper's poke. Maybe Zeka can get on top of him. Or maybe it's just a straight-up flip. The ult comes in, and the ult goes in from Zeka. He catches them in the backside of that one. And in goes Zeus, just catching everyone with their pants down. They have nowhere to go and nowhere to hide from this Cougar. Zeus gets the triple kill. Meanwhile, Morgan's all alone on the bottom side. And it just doesn't matter. Nothing he can do. And HLE got the dragon, of course. Well, that was the fight that broke the Bros back.
Someone didn't pay their bro tax. And HLE come through strong. A massive ult from Zeka to clutch that one out. Zeus there with the cleanup. And in the end, it is going to be a 2-0 for HLE. The streak continues for another series.
It really will. And Zeka, he got bullied the entire game. Catches closer a couple of times in mid-game, and then one big ult at the end. They stack up for it, and yeah, Hype, there's nowhere for you to run. Krako does eventually do some damage there at the end, but he's not going to feel good about that one, as Viper is dancing in front of their Nexus and takes it down.